DB, nice to see you. Nice tie. I have asked the caterers to bring lunch to the boardroom. I am overloaded with picking up the slack for Greg and cannot leave the building. Greg just cannot handle his end of the log anymore. He needs to get away and feed his demons. I think he has plans to slip across the border into Iowa. You have him terrified.
Heather, I like the way you dress. Few women wear skirts anymore. I think you have a bright future ahead of you in management. You are on your way to the executive suite. Greg has been living in Fantasyland, and fear is one of the greatest motivators in my toolbox. Greg is now in denial. He cannot believe he is in need of an intervention. I think Greg is under the impression he will be going through an exorcism. What he does not realize that before I get him straightened out he will be praying for an exorcist.
DB, your meeting with Sarah has triggered the flight response in Greg. He is now talking about crossing the border into Iowa to hide out. Greg has asked me to find Faust to get him in and out of that state incognito. You do know that Greg was kicked out of Iowa because he received an A on his certificate of attendance examination at the institution up there. I am afraid that Greg is headed into southern Iowa, not realizing that he is headed into what we now call Billy Goat Country.
I bet he is headed for Iowa 55 to help demolish the chapel that Verb designed. I hope no one ever tells Iowa 55 that Verb got that plan from inside a box of Wheaties. One good thing about being around Iowa 55, Greg will learn how to make base hits.
DB, Greg is dressing up like a redneck. He plans on going deep undercover to overcome, adapt, and survive.
Heather, carpe diem. Greg stands about as much of a chance of survival as a Muslim cleric surviving a baptism by glow plug in the Mississippi River.
DB, from my meeting with Greg yesterday, I am under the impression that Greg has convinced himself that he has to flee Missouri. He is now dealing with fear. He thinks you are Clint Eastwood and you intend to hang him high.
Heather, compared to Verb and Faust, I am a pussy cat. They are like the Road Runner and Greg is Wile E. Coyote. I was in a meeting with Sarah this morning, and she was accusing me of trying to get Greg fired. It is clear that she does not remember calling me up from the bullpen to swing the big bat and get Greggy back on track. It is not unusual for those who call me for an intervention to have second thoughts. So I discounted that conversation. I am on a mission. I cannot be distracted by a person who wants to second-guess my tactics.
DB, no doubt about it, you dumb man. Did you notice that Sarah was getting more emotional over this decision?
Yes, Heather. The reality of being a manager is now beginning to surface in Sarah. The Rodney King attitude has no place in an intervention. This is serious business. I would not too surprised if Greg does not do a Van Gogh.
DB, Greg has a thing for grasshoppers. I think if you bring some to your meeting with him it would make him happy. He really enjoys seeing their legs pulled off. I think Sarah needs to take a vacation. I could fill in during her absence.
Heather, there is no doubt that you would not have the emotional baggage that Sarah has. Perhaps this intervention could move ahead faster. If Sarah was to take a sabbatical and you could fill in for her while she was gone, it would sure help remove any obstacles in the fulfillment of our mission with Greg. You would also be able to implement your executive skills. You may be headed to the front office faster than you thought.
DB, the caterers are here. Let's have lunch.
Heather, what size dress did you say you wear?